Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Car Future Wheels. Today we've got something extraordinary on our hands, Porsche's latest masterpiece, the 2026 911 GT3 RS. It's a car that mixes ferocity and finesse like only Porsche can, and we're going to take you through every inch of its design, its soul, its speed, and what it's going to cost to park this marvel in your garage. Strap in, because this ride is going to be intense. I pull up to the GT3 RS and the first thing you notice is how aggressive it looks even standing still. Up front the car has that purposeful scowl. You've got a low chin splitter, oversized air intakes on either side that look like mouths hungry for air. The headlights are slim, sharp, and crisp, LED units with that Porsche 4-point signature that pierces through the daylight. Everything about the front is built to slice through air with precision, cool the giant brakes behind the rims, and announce that this isn't your daily commute. Moving along the side, the profile is pure track-bred beauty. The fenders are flared, exaggerated at both front and rear, giving the car a planted, muscular stance. The side skirts are sculpted, and there are vents behind the front wheels letting hot air escape. Visual cues that are functional more than merely aesthetic. Doors are sleek, low, and the roofline dips dramatically into that iconic sloping rear deck, and the rear quarter windows and side vents blend to meet the mid-engine proportions. You can't help but notice the wheels, lightweight forged alloys wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sports Cup tires, or whatever the newest competitive rubber is. Big brakes behind them, and huge carbon ceramic rotors peeking through, signs this machine's ready for brakes much harder than your local grocery store stop. Over the back, it's a revelation, a giant fixed rear wing perched on robust struts, screaming aerodynamic purpose. Below that, you've got a diffuser that seems almost vicious, with fins pulling air cleanly away from the underbody. The taillights are thin ribbons of LED across the rear, a broad glowing gesture that ties in with the headlights. Dual exhausts are centered or slightly offset depending on configuration, a burst from a sculpted bumper, and the wide stance is emphasized by the rear overhangs and the deep channels that direct airflow. Everything screams downforce, everything screams Porsche racing heritage. This is a GT3 RS through and through. Stepping inside, you're greeted by an environment built for driver engagement. Doors shut with a satisfying clunk, the cockpit tight, purposeful. Carbon fiber tub seats lightweight, wrapped in Alcantara or leather with contrast stitching to hug your body in all the right places. The steering wheel is sporty, compact, wrapped in Alcantara, maybe with a strip at 12 o'clock. Behind it, digital gauges that are clean, precise, racing-oriented but still usable on road. Center console is minimalist, switches feel mechanical, tactile air conditioning, drive mode selectors, track settings all there but not invasive. Materials everywhere: carbon fiber, Alcantara, brushed aluminum are hinting at weight savings and intense driving. The roofliner is light, the carpeting is minimal. Inside you may have optional roll cage or a lightweight battery, depending on your spec, but comfort isn't sacrificed. Interiorly you get enough sound insulation for longer trips, seats adjustable enough to be comfortable without compromising support. Visibility out the front is relatively good for a car like this. To the sides and rear, you have that iconic Porsche window line, though the big wing and rear fenders do limit view directly behind. Nothing new here. All pure trade-offs for aero. Under the bonnet, or more accurately behind the driver, mid-mounted is the beating heart, a naturally aspirated flat 6, high revving, screaming up to redline with feral energy. The displacement is slightly larger or refined compared to prior generations, delivering torque in the mid-range, but it's really up top where everything comes alive. The throttle response is instantaneous. Transmission options include a crisp dual-clutch PDK, ultra-fast shifts and razor-sharp during launch, or a manual in some markets, giving purists full control. The suspension is track-tuned, active dampers, rear axle steering, dynamic engine mounts, all engineered so body roll is minimized, cornering grip is visceral, and stability at high speeds is assured. The aerodynamic systems at splitter, wing, vents, diffuser all work in concert. On track, the GT3 RS hooks like Velcro, the steering is precise, feedback rich, and braking zones shorter than many cars' acceleration zones. When you open up to top speed or high-end throttle, the exhaust note rises to a howl, a raw, mechanical roar that is pure Porsche racing bloodline. 0 to 60 times are blistering a well under 3 seconds depending on speedca and lap times. Let's just say this would embarrass many dedicated track cars in the Porsche shadow. When you talk prices, this isn't just a car you buy, you invest in excellence. The base price in Europe starts well into the 6 figures, roughly in the neighborhood of a negation 300,000 to a negation 350,000 depending on options and market. When Porsche's options list opens up, pack carbon ceramic brakes, lightweight interior, special paint jobs, forged wheels, aero upgrades as you could easily tack on tens of thousands more, import taxes, delivery fees, optional extras like a telemetry system or track pack, those add up. If you want the ultralight version with full track setup, it isn't just adding a bit here and there, you expect to pay a premium. Insurance, maintenance, tires all higher than for your average sports car. But what you get in return is not average. You get a machine that feels alive, that rewards precision, that performs like very few cars on road or track. So is the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS worth it? If you demand visceral performance, if you want a car that challenges you every time you drive, that demands respect and gives it in spades as a yes. If your priorities are plush leather, silent rides, rear seat room, or low maintenance, then maybe not your ideal daily. But Porsche never intended this to be a comfortable mile muncher. First, it's a track weapon that can also handle road duties when called upon. Thank you for riding along with Future Wheels on this deep dive into the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS. If you're excited as we are, drop a like, hit subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss more reviews like this. And if you want us to bring you more details of performance data, driving impressions in twisty mountain roads or racetrack laps, leave a comment below. Until next time, keep your wheels true and your lines clean. Future Wheels out.